Goldman Sachs Junior Bankers poor? What am I talking about? Well, obviously, if you're a junior baker, you seem to make more money than the average person. So how can a person be poor? Well, there's two ways you can be poor. You can be money poor and time poor. And what I'm talking about is these guys, these junior bakers at Goldman Sachs are time poor, which means they use up all their time working to provide an income. And they have no time to enjoy it, no freedom, no schedule flexibility, none of that. In fact, you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about. Let me flip my camera around and you will see exactly what we are talking about. All right, so here we go. Business Insider. Read the headline. Goldman Sachs Junior Bakers work 98 hours a week. 98 hours a week. Survey says making the equivalent of about $22 an hour. $22 an hour, that's decent money for most people, but it's just average income. It's just average income, really. Let's get into the article. Here it talks about, it highlights they work average 98 hours. They did a study of a bunch of these bankers, and a bunch of these junior bankers are protesting, saying workplace abuse. And you'll see why here in a minute. Let's get into the article here. Junior bakers at Goldman Sachs working average of 98 hours a week, 18 more than their other banking peers. So they are getting seriously overworked. This means these first-year bankers at the firm, when you factor in the amount of hours they work versus their salary, even though they might be working a six-figure salary, they're averaging $22 an hour. That's basically the same as the average everyday person out here working. They are no better shape than anybody else because they are working too much. They are time poor. They are time poor. So according to Emily Brownstein, she's the one that wrote the story here. She didn't factor in bonuses or whatever. The bonuses better be worth it. Because they said that the bonuses, that some of these guys, they lost about 30% of their bonuses, according to Bloomberg. Now, the spokesman at Goldman Sachs told Brownstein that the data does not match theirs. Of course it wouldn't. So they declined to share their own findings. Of course they would. At an average of 98 hours a week, Goldman Sachs junior bankers are working 18 more hours than other people at the same position for different companies. The runner-up for their competitors was only working 86 hours a week. That's crazy too. 86 is bad enough, but 98? That's insane. So they've surveyed 2,500 first-year investment bankers, around 50 firms. They were asked about their pay, whether or not they liked their job, and the results from the survey was shared with private equity firms and clients who want to recruit talent from banks. Banks are going to lose a lot of people if they keep doing this. Goldman was thrown into turmoil by an internal survey the first-year analysts at the firm leaked to the press, showing that junior bankers had reached a breaking point. Junior bankers responded the way that they were working 98 hours a week, only getting 5 hours of sleep, went to bed at 3. They said this was affecting their relationships. 80% of the respondents felt like this was workplace abuse. More to the story. We recognize that people are very busy because of business with strong volumes at historic levels. During the COVID, people understandably were quite stretched. COVID can't be no excuse. That's no excuse. Anyway, that's how people are listing their concerns and taking steps to address them. But the workers are saying not much has changed. Read more from the survey. I might have to check this survey out in part two of this video. But check this out. Let me get back in front of this thing. This is insane. So this is why you can't really, some people get, oh, you're a banker, and they envy some of these high saluting these high profile jobs, even though this is a junior banker. So they're just getting into the field. So when you working 100 hours a week, that's insane. There's no way you can enjoy that money. There's no way you can enjoy life. That's that's you're going to have bad mental health because your personal life is going to be in shambles. Even if you even if you were taking care of a housewife, a stay at home housewife, you ain't gonna never have a chance to see her because you're gonna be at work all the time, and that relationship is gonna lead to a divorce. So even you may be making good money, you're gonna spend half of it in alimony. You're gonna be spending it in child support, and you know you ain't eating right. If you working at 100 hours, well, you ain't eating right because you just grabbing either something at a restaurant or you grabbing fast food that's even worse. There's no time. You have no time to prep for a healthy lunch, anything like that. This is unhealthy. This is unhealthy lifestyle. So even though they might be in low six figures, it's just unhealthy. It's unsustainable, and there's no excuse for that. So you can't really get caught up in the profile of someone's job, um, because you never know what's going on behind the scenes. And this is a perfect example of that. This is a perfect example of how a company will run, if allowed to, they'd run roughshod over their employees. A lot of companies they have good environments, but others don't. And so you have to take care of yourself. You have to put yourself in position. If you're in a high stress, high strain job, stack your money, learn the principles of income shifting, get yourself in position to where you can lead, or at least take a break anyway. So I thought this is interesting. Um, you know, it don't make no sense what's going on. Like 100 hours a week, that's insane. And it's just, even though they might have had a profile of being a banker, when you factor in how much they work versus their salary, they're no better than the average person. Go figure. Anyway, if you enjoyed this, like, subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments. Peace.